was totally Shanks' fate to lose the Gum Gum fruit in the Fuchsia village. But what if he didn't even go to the Fuchsia village to meet Luffy? Instead, he goes to the Germa Kingdom to face off the Vinsmoke family. Well, then who would eat the Gum Gum fruit? Of course, it's still not eaten by anyone until someone opens the chest. So, after stealing the Gum Gum fruit from the world government, Shanks also goes to the Germa Kingdom to steal the raid suit as well. But after sneaking into the kingdom secretly, he finds a kid locked up in the Vinsmoke Castle dungeon. Shanks was so shocked after seeing that kid locked up alone in a place which is actually made up to lock the criminals. Suddenly, Reiju enters the dungeon to visit Sanji, as she was so concerned about his little brother. Shanks sees Reiju and asks him, why was this kid locked up with an iron mask on him? She tells him that they are siblings, and his father, aka Vinsmoke, Judge, locked up his own son for being disgraced. Reiju begs Shanks to rescue Sanji from this hell. As we all know how much Shanks loves kids, as he adopted Yuta and also became a good friends with Luffy, he also decided to adopt Sanji. Without wasting any time, he takes little Sanji and flees from there before anyone notices him. After Sanji comes into consciousness, he asks the red hair pirates, who are you guys? And where am I? Shanks explains everything that happened at the North Blue and tells him they rescued them. Sanji was so happy that he got rid of his cruel father and evil brothers. After spending some time with Shanks and his crew, Lucky brings a special recipe which he made and offers it to Sanji as he was so hungry. Sanji tastes it and tells him something was off with the food Lucky made. He instantly modifies the food with his magical hands and also gives a bit of meat to the crew members to taste it. Everyone is amazed by the taste of Sanji's cooking, which made him the cook of the Red Hair Pirates at a very young age. A question for you guys. Would you join the Red-Haired Pirates crew if Shanks offered you? Or will you join another crew? Let me know in the comment section below. Coming back to the story. One day, Sanji unfortunately opens the treasure chest in which the Gum Gum fruit was hidden. He literally thought it was some kind of a vegetable as he didn't know about the devil fruit's existence and started to cut it to make a delicious recipe for Shanks and his crew. While he was cutting it, he tasted a bit of the Gum Gum fruit so he can analyze it and make the best recipe out of it. He still didn't notice any changes in his body because of the less actions. But when he took the recipe which he made to Shanks, Shanks tastes it and appreciates him for that. But after tasting it, he asks Sanji, I never tasted something like this before. What did you use to make this delicious pudding? Sanji smiles and says, I've used that purple-colored vegetable which was stored in the chest. This leaves the whole crew into chaos. Lucky instantly drew a picture of the Gum Gum fruit and asked Sanji, did the fruit look like this? Sanji says, I've tasted a slice of it before I started preparing the food. Shanks explains to Sanji that he has eaten a devil fruit and he now has the rubber powers and lost his swimming abilities. Sanji literally fell on the ground and started crying as his ultimate goal in life was to find the All Blue. Since he lost his swimming abilities, now he can't even see the All Blue ever in his entire life. Shanks comforts him and says it's no big deal. And rather than having a goal like that, he suggests Sanji to be a swordsman, as he was having great cutting skills in his cooking. Sanji figures it will be a good decision for him and starts training on his new two-sword style training. Sanji, with the combination of his insane kicks and two swords, he now became a great skilled swordsman and a cook for the red-haired pirates. After being beside Shanks for 14 years, Shanks made Sanji as the vice captain of the Red Hair Pirates, as he was also perfect in making strategies. Now Sanji is literally a beast. He now has the power of his rubber abilities. He is also a swordsman, and also he trained his legs very hard as like in the original series. But one thing is also common for him. He still can't rizz up anyone as he is a nerd when it comes to rizzing. As in the original series, the Vinsmoke family starts looking for Sanji after several years as they arrange his marriage with the 35th daughter of Big Mom. As Shanks was busy with his adventures, they sneak into Sanji and warn him to come back. And if he don't, he threatens them that they are going to kill Shanks and his friends. Sanji silently leaves the ship and goes with them as he doesn't want Shanks to fall in trouble because of him. Shanks notices that they have taken away Sanji and he is not so happy with it and goes to the Germa Kingdom to get Shanks. But guess what? Unfortunately, no one was in there. Shanks is so angry and destroys the whole castle and asks the security guard where Vinsmoke Judge and his family are by threatening them. The security over there tells the Red Hair Pirates that they have fixed a marriage for Sanji to make an alliance with the Big Mom Pirates to make their name higher and have a greater hand against the world. Now moves to Big Mom's Whole Cake Island. Using his conqueror's haki, he defeats almost every child of Big Mom and reaches the main island by crossing 34 subsidiary islands. He sees Sanji there and asks him to come back. Sanji was out of his words after seeing Shanks and his crew. Now the only problem for Sanji is Katakuri. Katakuri drags Sanji to the mirror world with the help of his sister Charlotte Bruley. He says Sanji can only get out of here if he defeats him, as we all know that Sanji is far more stronger now as compared to the original series. His haki is far stronger than Katakuri's haki, so even Katakuri can't predict Sanji's moves. Sanji combines his two sword style attacks with his rubber powers and continuously keeps striking Katakuri. This makes Katakuri weaker and weaker. With his legs, he created flames and made a final blow which made Katakuri fall into unconsciousness. On the other side of the fight, Shanks and his crew deal with Big Mom and her remaining children. We all know their powers are very low compared to our Shanks, so we see another victory for the Red Hair Pirates as well. After coming out from the mirror world, Sanji faces off his father Vinsmoke Judge and tells him that he is not interested in the Germa stuff. And he also proves his three brothers that he is not weak anymore, and he also proves he is no failure, but even stronger than their whole family combined. So he leaves them and joins the red-haired pirates. He also looks at Reiju and thanks her for being with him in his childhood. We see how Shanks is connected to Sanji now. He treats him as his own brother now. Shanks can go as far as he can to rescue Sanji, and Sanji will do anything to make Shanks as the next pirate king. And what about the Straw Hats? I don't think this would matter much for Luffy, because he had no plans for him to hire a cook from the beginning. He only chose Sanji as a cook because he was so connected to him in the original series and has a very tough goal exactly like him. So, there would be no major change in Straw Hats, but they may fall into some difficulties facing Crocodile, as Mr. Prince aka Sanji alone was the MVP in the Arabasta arc by rescuing Luffy and the other crewmates from the monster inside the Crocodile's territory when they were trapped inside the Sea Prism cage. But I don't think this is a serious problem for Luffy, as they could figure out something else to escape even without Sanji. They might also face serious problems in the Water 7 arc, as Sanji saved them many times from CP9 using his intelligence. And also, in the Dressrosa arc, Sanji saved Law, Nami Momonosuke from Doflamingo, which bought them so much time so they could escape from that Doflamingo. So, if there was no Sanji with them, I can say they couldn't survive the battle and also can lose their lives, which leaves Luffy behind in the race of becoming the Pirate King, as the Navigator Nami and Dr. Chopper will die. And also, absolutely, they could never taste the wonderful food that Sanji made. And yeah, this is how Luffy would fail as a pirate if there is no Sanji. But in this timeline, Shanks would get much more benefits, which Luffy got in the original series. And coming to the Gum Gum Fruit's true power, Sanji could never be transformed into son Nika, as he doesn't have any great dreams to fulfill in his life except making Shanks the Pirate King. So, having no worthy competition for Shanks in the race of finding the One Piece, Shanks would easily collect every log pose by defeating many big shots like Kaido, Mihawk, and Buggy. He will reach the final island, the Laugh Tale, and become the second Pirate King. This news would spread all over the world now, and including the government, everyone fears Shanks and his crew. Finally, the One Piece has reached to the right hands in my opinion, because you see Shanks was the part of Roger's crew as well. Even Roger will be happy on the other side of the world to see his pupil as his successor. And I also think after a few years, Shanks would exactly hide the treasure One Piece in the same location as Roger. And maybe we can see Luffy start his journey again to find this treasure. But even if he starts finding it again, it's as no thriller for the current era, as the hype was created only after Roger's execution. So this is what exactly is going to happen if Shanks met Sanji instead of Luffy. What do you guys think of this theory? Well, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content.